All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're diving into something that's, well, it's pretty critical for anyone trying to figure out their career right now, the SaaS Survival Manual. This isn't just theory, it's about the real-world changes that are happening as we speak and affecting how we all make a living. And look, the source for this explainer pulls no punches. It starts with this, a real gut punch of a statement. That economic winter everyone was warning us about, it isn't on its way. It's already here. Okay, so the first thing we absolutely have to get our heads around is this. This is not a recession. Calling it that is kind of misleading because it makes you think things will just bounce back to the way they were. No, what we're actually living through is a fundamental structural shift. The old rulebook for building a career, it's being tossed out. The entire game is changing, maybe for good. And you can see the symptoms of this shift all around you, right? The layoffs we've been seeing, they're not over. AI is starting to replace individual tasks, not just entire jobs. And of course, the cost of living is skyrocketing while our paychecks, they're just not keeping up. So this new reality leads us to a really tough but super important realization. The old promise, the one many of us grew up with, is completely broken. And this next idea is so important. The system didn't just break down, it changed, it evolved. And the real problem, most of us, our strategies, we didn't evolve with it. Yeah, and this slide just lays it out so clearly. Look at the old promise on the left. You get a degree, you get a job, you stay loyal, you retire. Simple, right? But now, look at the new reality. The skills you have today could be useless tomorrow. Relying on just one job, one paycheck, that's playing with fire. And loyalty to a company, forget about it. They're focused on one thing, efficiency. And that often comes before people. So here's the thing, and this is really crucial to hear. If you're feeling a bit lost or unstable right now, it is not your fault. It's not some personal failure. You're just trying to use an old map in a brand new world. Okay, so if the old map is useless, what's the new one? Well, this is where our source material introduces a new way of thinking, and it all revolves around a term you probably already know, SaaS. And I can already hear what you're thinking. SaaS? Isn't that just for, tech startups and Silicon Valley coders? Well, we have to totally rethink what SaaS means. For our purposes here, it's not about a type of company. It's about a concept. It's about leverage. It's about using tools, any tools, to automate your work, to scale what you can do, and to create value that keeps working even when you're not. And that brings us to the core idea of this whole thing. SaaS isn't just a business model anymore, it's a personal survival toolset. Okay, but it's one thing to have the tools, right? It's another thing to know how to use them, and that requires a completely different mindset. And this really boils it down. The old way of thinking was, I need a job. The new mindset, it's, I need systems. So how do you actually build those systems? Well, the source gives us this pretty simple but really powerful equation for survival. You start with your skills, what you're good at. Then you apply software, the tools, to give those skills leverage. And with those two things, you build systems that create value over and over again. And what's the result of all that? Real stability. And you know what's so powerful about this is that it's not just about scraping by. It's not just about surviving. When you shift your thinking from just being an employee to being a builder of systems, you actually start to take back control of your own future. All right, let's bring this all home. The final section here really puts everything into perspective with a pretty urgent message. And this is the hard truth of it, isn't it? These big economic winters, they don't wipe everyone out. They weed out the ones who refuse to adapt. And that leaves us with this final thought. Look, the question isn't really if this SaaS mindset is for you. The only real question left is, are you going to learn this stuff now on your own terms? Or are you going to wait until you're forced to? Like this video, share it with your friends and colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe for more real tips and insights for your business or brand. For information on attending a private live group consulting session, visit events.𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐢𝐻solutions.net. See you there.